Hi, my name is Darla, and I'm from the Center Township Branch Library, and I am joined by
Katie from the Francis Branch Library.
and today we're going to be talking about fantasy books to TV shows.
Book we're going to talk about is the Witcher series, more recently been translated into English and has had a super big resurgence since Netflix came out with the Witcher TV series.
Several of my friends actually played the Witcher video games, and I have seen that type of content on Twitch, but I was never aware that the video game was based on a book.
I was also a big fan of the video games, but never knew there were books. So this is like really exciting to discover. So I have read the first two books, The Last Wish and Blood of Elves. And Darla, I think you've read both of those, plus the third book in the series.
Yes, The Time of Contempt. And I've also read several of the graphic novels of The Witcher as well, which are excellent.
Nice.
Um,
I haven't read those, so that's good to
yeah,
know.
the artwork is really great in those.
I think all of the imagery, at least from reading the books, really lends itself to creating a really awesome fantasy world. So I'm not surprised.
Yeah, definitely. And there's so much world building in those books. It really felt like I was going on an adventure with Geralt, which was kind of exciting. I was totally hooked like the first 5 minutes.
I thought they did a really good job of matching that first season on Netflix to it pretty much match exactly to The Last Wish. Um, and actually reading it made the time skips make a lot more sense. It was kind of confusing in the show, at least for me, and it took several episodes before I understood that we were looking at past, present, and they were mixed together. The characters are really awesome in the show. They did a great job casting, and I think they really matched the book characters well. So that was really fun to compare the two.
In the series as well, the costumes and the sets
Yes,
are really great, and it definitely lends to that fantasy world.
definitely. Visually, it's you're not going to be bored at all.
The next fantasy book to TV series that we wanted to talk about is, of course, the legendary Game of Thrones. I myself have read and listened to all of the books and have continued reading some of the other ones that George R. R. Martin has put out, such as Fire and Blood. And Katie, I know that you've read a couple.
I have seen the entire TV series. We won't talk about season 8, but
No.
I did enjoy most of the TV series, and then I went back and read a couple of the books. But I'm kind of a completionist, so I felt weird reading and then not knowing when that next book is going to come out. But completely enjoy all the characters, the world building. Love Westeros. Would like to visit, but it sounds crazy. So
Yes, I totally agree. And something that I really like about Game of Thrones, not just the TV show, but the books as well, is just the sheer amount of characters that George R. R. Martin crafted. I mean, there are so many points of view, and I mean, there's even more in the books that don't even make it to the TV series. So,
yeah, I had a hard time in the TV series keeping track of all the characters. So actually reading it and each chapter being the point of view of a different character helped me put all of those stories together finally. So I really liked the book and reading the characters in quick succession. I read it so fast, like so quickly. It just flew by.
it is really an incredible story, even though, like, see, the end of season 8 was just the biggest disappointment to me personally. I will say that something that the directors and the cast did so well was that Battle of Winterfell. It was awesome. If you haven't seen season 8 because you've heard of how awful it ends, I promise you that that last Battle of Winterfell is totally worth it.
That is a really epic battle. It is worth it just for that, I think. All right, the next book we're going to talk about is Good Omens, and it was written by Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett. So they both traded off writing different portions of this book. and it's one of my favorite books. It has the legendary humor of Terry Pratchett combined with the crazy sort of stories that Neil Gaiman brings. And it is the most fun book about the apocalypse you will ever read. And I feel the same way about the TV series that came out recently. It was just an absolute joy to watch.
Totally, I completely agree. So, I actually listened to the audiobook of this one, and I have to say that I just absolutely adored the narrator of Good Omens, the audiobook. It was so quirky. His voices were fantastic. It was just so much fun to listen to.
It's one of those books you're going to laugh out loud. I think that the casting was perfect. Michael Sheen and David Tennant, I like need them to follow me around and provide commentary on just everything because they are the funniest odd couple.
Chemistry that they have going on is just hilarious.
Shout out to the side characters too. I mean, there's just a full wonderful cast, and the characters in the book they nailed it. Like it is spot on. So this is, I think, one of my favorite adaptations.
Well, thank you guys so much for watching our fantasy books to screen chat. And all of the titles that we did discuss are available for download on Libby or Hoopla.
You can also request these books to pick up at Curbside for Francis Branch, Center Branch, Keller Park, and North Liberty. You just go into your account or give us a call and we'll put these books aside for you. Thank you so much for watching.
Bye. Okay.